Hey everyone, welcome. Oh, well, I'm getting a technical error on my screen. Let's see if I can fix that. Hold on. No, it seems to be working here, so I think we're good to go. Hey, how's everyone doing? I gotta say, you crack me up. My picture of my new chair, the comments and the feedback I've had have been outstanding. It's amazing how much pleasure one person can get out of a new chair. You want to see it again? It's really quite comfortable to sit on. It's pretty cool, huh? There's a real story behind this chair, but I won't bore you with it. But in a nutshell, it's small. It's made for a petite person. My son said to me, you know what, you're uncomfortable sitting in your chair because you keep buying these big executive chairs. He said, and you're so petite, you need a little lady's chair. And so this one has been a real treat for me. And it's pink and it's got diamantes on it, which means it's perfect for a princess or a queen. Now, I know I've got you all laughing hysterically, don't I? So if you're joining me, give me a wave, give me a hi, give me a like. Let me know that you're here because it'd be great to see as many of you tonight. Oh, there we go. I've got rid of my error message. I can't quite work out why it's doing that tonight, but that's okay. Here we go. I want to share a story with you. Do you want to hear a story? I always like stories. And my story started on Sunday morning. Well, really, my story started a couple of years ago, but we're going to fast forward to Sunday morning. And those of you who follow me regularly, my super followers will know I only learned to swim properly a couple of years ago. And a big bucket list of mine was to do a triathlon, and I did that. And that first triathlon was a pool swim. Who's giving me an angry face? I'm sure that wasn't meant to be I haven't said anything yet. How can you give me an angry face already? Wait till you hear what I gotta say. How many angry faces am I gonna get? Well, I've never had an angry face in my life before, but I guess there's always a first, and tonight is a first. So I did that triathlon, and that was a pool swim. But my big bucket list was to do an open water or a lake swim. And I knew I needed to learn to swim properly to be able to do that. And I did that last year. I did Blenheim Palace Triathlon, which was incredible. And since then, I've continued to swim on a Sunday morning at the lake at Baronsfield. And with lockdown, there aren't many outdoor or indoor exercise options, etc., etc. So the lake has decided to stay open through the winter to allow the swimmers who want to swim throughout the winter to carry on being in the fresh outdoors in a safe environment. And so one of my group of four, just two of us, decided we were going to carry on swimming through the winter. And we decided we'd get our winter gear. So we invested in winter wetsuits and swimming booties. I don't know what they're really called, swimming booties and hats and gloves and all sorts. And we swam the last few weeks on Sunday mornings, and the lake water is getting colder and colder. And then a week ago, we did a Saturday afternoon winter or cold water, I can't think of what it's called, cold water swimming course, that we would be safe in the cold weather, in the cold water. So on Sunday morning, we get there. And now my friend knew that I thought it would be really super cool to one Sunday morning swim without a wetsuit, to actually do proper cold water swimming. And so Sunday morning, I wake up and I've got my wetsuit on halfway up to my waist. And she comes over, she says, what are you doing with your wetsuit? I said, oh, I'm putting it on. She said, no. She said, if there's a day you're going to do it, swim skins is what they call it. Today's got to be the day. And I said, yeah, because it's so warm out. The air temperature was 15 degrees, which made it really, I guess, more attractive or suitable to go swimming in your skins only. And I said, yeah, but I'm scared. She said, what are you scared of? She said, we talked about your fears last week and we got to the bottom of it and there's nothing to be scared of. And I said, yeah, but I'm still scared. She has nothing to be scared of. Come on, let's go. You're going to do it today. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And then I said, you're going to promise me you're going to swim with me. You're not going to go ahead, because she's a great swimmer. And she said, no, I'll swim with you. I won't go ahead. We'll go together. And so just like that, I whipped my wetsuit off, just put my booties, my hat, and my gloves on, and my tow float, and off we went. And yeah, and it was cold, and it was exhilarating. And halfway around our swim, I just turned to her and I just said, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are an absolute blessing. You are good for my soul." And that made me think about, you've got to really choose your friends wisely. And I know that if it had not been for her, I would have swum in my wetsuit on Sunday again and felt a little bit disappointed or come away thinking, well, what if, what if, what if? And now with lockdown, I suspect the lake will close. And so by the time the lake reopens, it'll probably be too cold to have done a first swim, long swim in cold water without having had a chance to acclimatize. And so I'm so grateful to her for nudging me. And it made me think about choose your friends wisely. You've all heard that saying many, many, many times for sure. And you probably associate it with different meanings at different times in your life. And I know for me, at different stages and different experiences, that has meant different things to me. It's meant things like, reliability, someone that you can be yourself around, someone that you can, tell all your inner thoughts with, what I call you have a confidant, have your 3 a.m. person. You can call them at 3 a.m. and without question, they will be there to help you in whatever way that you need help. But this phase of life I'm in, maybe it's because of all the things that are going on around the world that are outside of our control. At this stage of life, what this phrase, choose your friends wisely, means to me is that they can help you to live a better life. When your friends are supporting you and, more than that, when you share an idea with them and you share your fears, instead of discouraging you, they listen. They listen, they ask you what it means to you, why it's important to you. They also will talk through the risks. They'll ask you what the risk factor is, what's the worst that could possibly happen. And then they actually say, well, if there's little or no risk, then you must do it. Even if it's not their thing to do, they want you to go on and do your thing. And so when I talk about choose your friends wisely, choose your friends who are going to encourage you, push you out of your comfort zone, people who are going to get you to think, to strive to be your best, to achieve the things that matter most to you. What's on your bucket list? There have been many things on my bucket list, which I'm grateful to my friends, even though I was doing things that weren't their thing. They've always encouraged me. They've talked me through the risk. If it's little or no risk, do it. There's nothing to think about. The worst that could happen is you'll regret not having tried, not having done it. And, Jim Rohn, who's a world famous motivational speaker, says we become what we surround ourselves with. I'll say that again. We become what we surround ourselves with. There's another way of saying that you will be the product of the 5 people you spend most time with. Think about that. Think about the 5 people in your life you spend most time with. You are the combination of those 5 people. And I think back to when I started my home-based network marketing business, and I looked at the reaction I got from some of the people in my network. Some people discouraged me. They said it would never work. They questioned my thinking, my logic, my motivation. And some people said, well, think about the risk. If there's little or no risk, if you can see how it's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be, then you must do it. Even if it wasn't their thing, they supported me doing my thing. And when I fast forward 19 years, I hate to think about where I would have been had it not been for those people who've encouraged me every step of the way. it doesn't mean the thing that you're going to do is going to be easy. I'm not talking about that, because life is not a straight line. Whatever you do, it's going to require tenacity, resilience, commitment, probably a few tears along the way, and like me, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. But choosing your friends wisely means they will support you. And in those moments when you feel scared, even though it is something you want to do, so even though that cold water swim was something I wanted to do, she encouraged me because she knew it was important to me. So those friends will encourage you to be your best, to tick those things off your bucket list. And sometimes I think about, why don't people do that? Why doesn't everybody do that? Well, I guess if it's not their thing, or if you're going to do something which stretches your comfort zone, it can make people feel uncomfortable. It threatens their security. It makes them feel vulnerable. It shows them up that maybe they're not as ambitious or tenacious or as outgoing as you are. And it could be something big, it could be something small. What I do know is, in my business, I come across so many people who I can tell they have, deep burning desires. They have a long, long bucket list. They've got dreams and goals, and somehow they've let life box them in to, being mainstream, to just following the sheep pack. I'm sure that's not what farmers would call it, but I call it, the pack of sheep. Instead of saying, no, I believe in you, go and do it, you'll find a way. And when you're in the right environment, when I think about my 19 years in my business, being in the right environment with the right mentors, with the right leaders, with the people who understand the fire in your belly and understand that it's okay to fail your way to achieving whatever it is you're working towards, that's where the change comes. And, when you surround yourself with those people, it encourages you to think differently and to develop a new approach to life. And so I'm doing things now, later on in my life, and I have done for some years now, because my mindset has changed, and I'm very careful who I listen to, and I'm very careful who I choose as my friends, because I know they're going to influence how my life shapes up going forward. And so again, I come back to choose your friends wisely, because we become what we surround ourselves with. And so if you're in a state now, or in a place where you feel you've got more to give, you have a bucket list, you've got dreams and goals, but maybe you don't have the right mentors, or maybe you love your friends, but they're not the right friends to take you where you want to go. And I'm not saying ditch your friends, although I can tell you there are some global motivational speakers who would tell you to ditch your friends. I'm not saying that. But maybe you keep them as friends, and maybe it's time to seek new mentors, to be around people who've already achieved what you're looking for, who can guide you, coach you, give advice, share their experiences, avoid the mistakes, to go around the roadblocks that they faced. And if you're looking for that kind of environment, then hand on heart, I know that being part of our team, you'll get that, because we focus on helping individuals get really, really clear about your goals, about what really, really matters most to you. And then we go to work to put an activity and training plan together. And then you get one-on-one coaching and mentoring. Sometimes people misunderstand what it is we do. Yes, we grow a business. Yes, we grow an income, but that only happens because actually what we do grow is we grow people and family first, profit second. And that, through that process, you get an incredible journey of personal development. You'll have an opportunity to surround yourself with the type of people that can help you on your journey. So my message to you tonight is, choose your friends wisely. Think about the 5 people you're spending the most time with, and maybe you need 2 sets of 5 friends. Maybe you need the set you have, and maybe you need some new ones that will encourage you, help you feel the fear and do it anyway, help you make a risk assessment, because if there's little or no risk, do it. Otherwise, you will regret not having at least tried. Like me on Sunday, she said the worst that could happen is you're just not going to get comfortable. You'll feel too cold. So you just turn around and get out. She said, and I'll get out with you. So if you're joining me tonight live, please help me. #live. I'm trialing this new StreamYard again this week. I've had one error message and one angry face. I don't know who gave me an angry face. I hope that was a mistake. But #live. Oh, hey, I've got Israel on tonight. Thank you, my darling. You're such a great, great woman. And, or if you're watching it on replay, #replay. If you want to be notified when I'm next going live, please hit your notification so you get the notification when I go live again. Because in these times, again, we have to focus on what we can control. And what we can control is what goes on in here, which influences what goes on in here. So with that, I bid you all a fantastic good night and choose your friends wisely.